Welcome everyone to the Creators Flow podcast, brought to you by Wilfred's Leather Co., your go-to destination for all things crafting, creativity, and artistry. I'm your host, Ethan Williams, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for this exciting journey. Whether you're an experienced leather worker, an inspiring artist, or just someone curious about the world of leather, this podcast is your backstage pass to insights, stories, and inspiration. We're here to explore the intersections of art, craft, and creativity through the lens of leather. Every episode, we sit down with leather crafters, artists, creatives, brands across the globe, where they share their journeys, their struggles, and their triumphs. From traditional techniques to innovative design, each guest brings a unique perspective that will leave you inspired and ready to embark on your creative journey. And without further ado, let's get this thing going. So the very first person I'm going to have on the show is Christopher from Royal Leatherworks. This man is out of Minnesota, USA, and he makes some of the most gorgeous card holders I have ever seen. Actually, he just recently won the contest there by who was that by? That was by oh shit. Who was that? Oh, Justin Starr. He just recently won that contest by Justin Starr. And I was one of the suppliers who were giving away, like as winnings, leather hides or tools. For me, I gave away the leather hides. I picked Christopher's work because it's clean, it's crisp. Damn, it looked nice. What was that? That was the No-Mo Challenge is the one I'm thinking of. So we kind of had a little bit of dialect after that, and I said, hey, man, let's get on the podcast. Let's do this thing. So here we are. So I'm going to invite Christopher on, and we're going to go and get going talking about everything leather, everything we can possibly talk about. Yeah, let's do it. Christopher, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's good. Thanks. Thanks for having me, Ethan. Good to be
Absolutely,
here.
dude. Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's your week been? How's your month been? September.
Yeah. Wow. My kid's starting school, so as you can imagine, everything is super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just filling up the weekdays and the weekends, and jobs keeping me busy, and then just, of course, crafting in between any moment I
Yeah.
get. So yeah,
Yeah.
but family life takes up a lot of my time, but
No,
it's been good. It's been really good.
yeah, I can imagine. You said kids. How old? You got two then or three?
Yeah, I've got two here.
Yeah.
So an 8-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. So they do keep me busy for
Yeah,
sure.
of course. So how are you
Yeah.
finding time with making, like doing your craft?
Yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of times as a creative person, I feel like we are night owls. So after
Yeah.
everyone sleeps, that's when you get the crafting done. So I've been trying to find time during that time, usually on weekends too. Everyone's asleep, I'll just wake up early and craft then as well. So any chance I get, I'm trying to craft.
Are you making right now just through like your are you just doing through messages orders, or you don't have a website quite yet, right?
No, yeah. So right now my website's in the works.
Okay.
Uh, my big goal is to finish off all the custom orders I have right now,
Hmm.
since I mainly go through DM, and really just turn that off for now and focus on my website
Yeah.
so that I can have that up and get some things automated a bit.
You've been doing the craft for a bit though now. From like I don't know if that's true or not, but judging by your followers and like the skill of your makes, it seems like you've been doing it for a damn long time. Um, so was getting a website out not super important at the first kind of when you got started, or like when did it become important and why wasn't it before?
Yeah, I mean, I think a website's hugely important,
Yeah.
especially for sustainability, and
Hmm.
that's the biggest thing that I want to do is to have it be more sustainable.
Yeah.
Um, I've actually not been crafting that long, so
No?
just been fortunate enough to just be a crafty person in general.
Yeah.
And my whole family, I come from a family of engineers, so we kind of
Okay.
kind of when we get into something, we want to kind of be perfectionists about it. So
That's
um,
fair.
yeah, so it pretty much just immediately went through, yeah, see some of my stuff there, but
Yeah.
pretty much just once I got my hands on it, I was like, wow, like I love doing this, and I put in so many hours. So as far as like time wise, I've not been doing this for a very long time,
Hmm.
going on 2 years now actually. I actually first started my Instagram on in October, so October of last year. So it's not been up very long. I just wanted to say, hey, let's put this up there and see how it goes. And
Yep.
it's been just kind of exploding. So I realized that custom orders started coming more and more and more and more,
Yep.
and that pretty much just took up my time. So it's just kind of took off on me once I did launch.
So what was like when you first were getting, you said October,
Yeah,
like what was that, what did that mean for you when you first got it started? Like was it like wasting a bunch of money trying out different leathers, or was it like being super detailed with like trying to find that perfect, like not being smart about,
yeah.
sourcing leather? Like how did you kind of go about the first intros for it?
Yeah, well, when I first started, I went to my local Tandy and picked up a hide there,
Yeah,
and
okay.
they had a sale. They had a sale going on, and I bought like a large hide for like $70,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I said, well, because I see people making their leather goods, and I kind of want to follow what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I bought some harness, Wicked and Craig harness leather, some English bridle,
What
and I was
ounce?
like, yep, three and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most common what I use, three and a half.
Yeah.
For certain leathers, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but certain leathers like Pueblo, I'm at 3.5 to 4 because it's just the temper on it's a little softer.
Yep.
Um, but initially, I started practicing some of my ideas on this harness leather and bridle leather, and I was like, I am wasting so much leather
I
because
know, dude.
I'm just like getting into it, you know? So, right, fortunately now when I prototype, a lot of the times my prototype is usable and it's pretty darn close to where I want it to be. But yeah, that's through trial and error with certain leathers, but also I am a huge like proponent. I really just tell people, ask people questions. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if they have 100,000 followers or 50,000 followers or like 500 followers.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to get out there and ask them, hey, what are you using? What have
Yeah.
you found that works for you? Just ask those questions. And so I've been fortunate enough to be able to connect with some pretty good makers, and they kind of steered me in the right direction.
Yeah, that's the thing I kind of noticed about you is like you seem like just how, I guess, how do we, well, we connected through the Nomo challenge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Through Justin
yep.
Starr.
Mhm.
And I mean, just like really quick, I think we had like three messages back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this guy already." So like, I mean, that kind of, that nature makes makes the community more exciting when more people are like that. When
Yeah,
you're easy to talk to, you're easy, and if you're easy to talk to, you're generally easy to learn from, right? So
right.
I just think that like the community that we're in is it was growing really quick. I think
Yeah.
maybe it's kind of slowed down a little bit now since like we're all back outside again.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like it's such a tight knit community that you can go out and learn from whoever.
Yeah, 100%. And also with the way that, and specifically because most of the stuff is through Instagram,
Hmm.
like most of the connections are made through Reels especially and
Yeah.
stuff. So, and I've seen by posting my own Reels, I've seen the ones that are like, this is how you do this, or this is how it's made.
Hmm.
Those videos tend to get more attention, at
Hmm.
least in my experience. So, being able to throw a comment on there from the maker and say, hey, I was looking into this tool, or what kind of leather you're using here, certain questions that you might have. The response is pretty quick, typically. I try to be, I know for myself, I try to respond to everyone as quickly as I can, I want to be relevant, not to do it out of like necessity, but I want to be like out there and say, hey, like if you ever need help, I'm an open book. I don't have
Hmm.
many secrets.
Yeah, that's
So
fair. Yeah,
yeah,
Instagram seems to be pretty good for that. Like,
sure does.
what other social channels, like, do you use any for connecting with the community, like Reddit or anything like that?
Mostly just that or Facebook.
Yeah.
I've made actually quite a few sales on Facebook, but that's like even through my personal Facebook. I'll
Okay.
share it on Royal Leatherworks Facebook,
Hmm.
and then I will. So I'll post it there and I'll share it on my personal page with my friends and family.
Okay.
And of course, I'll make it open to the public and then they'll share it. So I've gotten a lot of custom orders through that too. But
Yeah.
mainly those two, Instagram, Facebook, just a few on YouTube. Kind of YouTube's different. I feel like some people they'll post their stuff on YouTube and it'll be like wildly popular. And then they'll go over to Instagram and it's just like really low view count, things like that. But then
Yeah.
it's the other way around for me, you know. So,
Hmm. And I wanna ask you, out of
mhm.
these, so there's no doubt that you have some type of photography background, because like these images are like they're crisp, they're beautiful, and I can't take photos like this at all. I need to learn to, but what can you tell me a bit about that background?
Yeah. So several years ago, I actually started shooting photography. So
Mhm.
that was that's my background really.
Yep.
Photo and then video. I bought a camera just to get into family photos because my daughter was growing, and I was like, I want something that's better than my phone. So,
Yeah.
and then I started posting photos of her, and then shortly after, people were like, "Hey, can you shoot my wedding? Can you?" It kind of took off from there. So I have my own business.
Yep.
Still do that pretty much here and there.
Hmm.
Um, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that experience and bring it right into leatherwork. And I think that's one of the reasons what's helped the growth,
Yeah.
because I just have that background. But I get asked every week, you know, what should my video settings be,
Yeah.
or how do you set up your lighting, or what camera, especially camera and lighting. I get that question all the time.
What's your favorite make? Like looking at your profile, if you could
Yep.
pick out your favorite make on here, what would it be?
Oh man, you know that's the Guardian right there. I really like. I
This one
just
right
got
here?
the Yeah, yeah. I just got the Dream Factory, so it's you're probably gonna see gold on the next like several things, but yeah, I've
Oh
been
yeah.
really enjoying making the Guardian lately. Yeah, the baseball stitch. That actually stemmed from the No Mo challenge, so
The baseball stitch did?
it did. Yeah,
Okay.
so I was actually inspired by Steve from Sango. So shout out to him. He's one of my favorite crafters. He made that stitch, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply that to the Nomo challenge and
Yep.
stuff. So it was, of course, totally different. I did it on the very last day that the
Hmm.
contest was open,
Hmm.
and I think I won something from you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, but it's just been really fun to make. Otherwise, I have my favorite make ever. This is what it's not on my page, but it's this right here is my 12 SD card holder, and this is like a prototype. But I still use it today. So
Let's see
it's
it.
yep. So this is made with Butero
Butero.
chestnut. Yeah, chestnut Butero. Yeah. Chestnuts. I didn't have any antique brass, otherwise I would have done that there. But
Yep.
I kind of Frankensteined it together, as you
Oh,
can
that's
see.
cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see that, but I've got 12. It holds 12 SD cards. You can put
Yeah.
business cards and things like that in there.
Hmm.
But I kind of like threw it together with a bunch of scraps, and it turned out like great. It turned out
Yeah, yeah.
awesome. I mean, there's small tweaks that I made to it, but
Hmm.
I take this thing everywhere I go. Like on all my shoots, I take it everywhere. So,
Yeah.
and it's aged pretty well, but it's my favorite thing so far.
Now, how do you rank that leather?
I mean, I've used it on most of the stuff you see on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's up there with my top three, I would probably say, favorite leathers. I'm getting into more leathers. Andrea from A Leather,
Yep.
I've bought some big sample packs from her. So I'm going to get
Hmm.
exposed to several other leathers. Um, but yeah, I really like Butetto. It's a great leather to work with. Temper's great, depending on the color,
Yep.
but it's been great. Yeah.
So, what would the top three be for you then?
I would say Minerva, smooth. I
Minerva.
love
Okay.
Minerva. Yeah,
Yep.
Minerva's awesome. Of course, Butetto. I really enjoy it. It's
Yep.
just consistent and it ages well. And then Pueblo. I love Pueblo.
So it's
It's
gonna
been work.
go Minerva,
Hmm.
Butero, and then Pueblo.
Maybe not in that order. I'd probably put. That's a tough one, really. It's a tough one.
I guess it depends
Uh,
on what you're making too, right?
it depends on what I'm making. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I made a wallet because there wasn't a specific color I was looking for in Butero, so I made it with a Minerva Smooth, and I just fell in love with it. Like the temper is awesome to work with. It
Yep.
smells great because there's not a bigger compliment than when someone you hand someone something you sell and they just give it a nice whiff,
Yeah.
So yeah, Minerva's like that. It's great smelling leather, but yeah, it depends on what I make.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
to that point about the smell, whenever when someone walks into the shop and they could do that like stop and do the deep
yeah,
inhale, I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. I know
I
it
know,
smells
right?
great in here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Except
man.
for like my wife, she's pregnant right now, so
Yeah.
she can't handle much of anything. So
Does she
if I have
like
too much, if I have too much leather in there, she just, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, anything, too much of anything, really.
Yeah. No, I get
So
that. I get that 100%.
yeah,
Um, what else did I want to talk to you about your profile page? Gold foiling. Oh yeah, gold foiling. So you just got that machine
yeah,
in?
yeah. I bought it from another maker,
Yeah.
so yeah, he gave me a good deal on it. So I've been using that, just really putting it through its paces and learning it. It's nice because I don't have a clicker press. I was using just the 1 ton clicker press
Yep.
from Weber. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Vevor,
Weber,
yeah.
Weber. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I had one of those. The struggle with that is that when I did click out like my Knightsman, I have like a a die set for. So when
Mm-hmm.
I click those out, you have to move it around so much
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So um, the Dream Factory has an attachment to do clicker press on it too.
Yeah, it
So it's
does.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always nice.
I mean, yeah, like the gold foiling like really does. I mean, it's just that extra little touch to any make, I find at least. Have
Yeah.
you experimented with any other colors or just like I guess I shouldn't say gold foiling, but have you experimented with other type of foils, like the other colors?
I haven't yet. I do want to
Yeah.
get into like silver and then some other colors, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, just gold.
Yeah. I've seen the
Yeah,
black. I don't know if you've seen that on any of
yeah.
the makes. That's a really cool looking color on like a I don't know, like a cognac or
Oh
what's
yeah,
the how do I pronounce that?
cognac.
Cognac, there we go.
Yeah,
The cognacs. I think the black foil really stands out.
yeah, that's cool. I'll have to look into that too.
Yeah. No, it's
You can
awesome.
even do like a matte black with a
Oh yeah.
black foil. That'd be
Oh
really
yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. What do you say we get into our where the heck is it? What are we calling it? We can call it Makers of the Week segment.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So for any of you listening, the Maker of the Week segment is basically where we talk about makers that we follow, the makers that inspire us, and we're going to showcase some of their makes and more specifically their reels. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to go through it. Okay. Can you see that the screen on your end there,
Yep,
Christopher?
yep. Yeah, I can
Awesome.
see that.
Awesome. So our first maker that I want to shout out here is let's pull them up. Keelan Honey over at Sunhouse Goods. So his profile says, "I make nice things for discerning people. Custom leather goods designed and made by a lone craftsman in Durham, NC. Not a brand, just a guy." I like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
like that a
great.
lot. So I asked for a quick little profile of him, and he gave me, "Hey, I'm 26 years old. 26-year-old. I live in North Dakota. I'm self-taught. I employ both myself and my wife full time with our fledgling leather goods brand. We make purses, wallets, things for our customers, wholesales to business, and I also teach private lessons quite often as well. Cheers." That's impressive to be doing it full time.
Yeah, 26 too.
Yeah,
That's
dude. I mean, that's
quite the
pretty
accomplishment.
awesome. What's
Yeah.
your thoughts on like going full time? Like, where are you? Like, do you have the like the dream to do that, or like the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, I have some goals
Yeah.
with Royal Leatherworks because I do want it to be sustainable for
Yep.
sure. You know, when my kids get old enough, I'd like to show them how to craft as well,
Yeah.
stuff. So, uh, as of right now, I'm not 100% on going full time into it yet. Uh,
Hmm.
it's hard. It's hard with the family, right? So there's a
Yeah.
little more on the line.
Yeah.
So if I was single and just married, you know, I probably would take the leap for sure.
Man,
Because I see there's so much potential in it, you know.
yeah, I hear you so much on that because I think it's like everybody I don't know, maybe it's not everybody, but I think what happens is you get kind of hooked to this craft and you want it to be a business, and like taking a step back and like being like, what's sustainable mean to me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a good way of looking at it. But this guy seems to be doing it. So that's awesome.
Right? He makes beautiful stuff. I remember early on when I joined Instagram, I was actually intrigued by his bags, and then he had a really sick logo. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Where is that logo? Yeah, this one right here. What is that?
yeah, that one he's got some earlier on that he stamped on some of his wallets, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's so impressive. His work is really impressive. I have yet to make a bag. I'm designing one right now. Uh, but yeah, they look great.
I think like bags for me were like the way to go after
Yeah.
I started like transitioning over.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, I liked them more. They weren't even really for me. They were more for like women. But
Right.
for whatever reason, after I was done making a bag, I was that much more proud of the make. There's something
Oh
about
yeah.
just making something bigger sometimes, I think.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, let me this back up, and for anyone who's at this press, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look at the consistency. You know, just making something that consistent, handmade, is really
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. Could you hear the audio?
I couldn't hear it.
You could not?
No.
Oh, damn. It's really catchy audio, and maybe I'll try to
Yeah.
include it in like the clip editing. But there's something
Right.
about like how like picking a good. I think I mean that's kind of what reels are. You pick a good audio over a good video, then you have a good reel, right?
Right.
Is there a pattern for you when you pick your reels? Is there something that you're going for in it, or are you going for more viral audios?
Um, I pretty much hung on to like the just the very chill, relaxing kind of real sounds. I know there are some makers that are like they just hit you with it. You know, it's very exciting and fun.
Yeah,
I've had more the approach of like I'm just wow, that was super relaxing. You know, people look at my reels and they're like, I'm I'm at peace. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I had someone share one of my reels last week and they said that they get like usually ASMR stuff gives them like anxiety and just I don't know, just they just have this weird they get tics or something and
hmm
but leather ASMR they really enjoyed and they posted my reel and they were like this is actually peaceful to me. So that was really encouraging.
That's
So
really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I
for
can.
sure.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Um, this one was your pick, Benjamin.
Benjamin Bot.
Yeah, you want to tell me a little about him?
And I've been following him since the beginning. He is just, I mean, his stuff is just gorgeous, you know, and there are a certain amount of makers where you need sunglasses to look at their edges. They're just so shiny.
Yeah,
I feel like those candy edges are so desirable for so many people, but it
Yeah.
has to, and I've had this discussion with several other makers before, it has to match your brand, your aesthetic.
Yes.
Something like those that matches his look, that matches his brand.
Yep.
So, and someone said, "Hey, when you make shiny edges, it's hard to go back to,
Yeah. Yeah.
not keeping at that level." So, and I tend to agree. I feel like sometimes for my stuff, it's hard to go back once you've experienced like, oh, this is what I can achieve.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I have yet to do an edge like him, you know.
What do you think the time commitment is for an edge like that?
And sometimes they make more time doing the edges than they do building the wallets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. And then there's no like huge secrets as far as because I've asked several people their questions. It's just a bunch of elbow grease and sand, go through the
Yeah.
grits. If
Go through the
you,
grids.
the biggest thing is spending the most time on your first grit. So, whether that's 180 or 220, a lot of them use 220.
Mm-hmm.
Just if it's not completely flat or smooth with 220, go back and do it again
Yeah.
and keep
Exactly.
doing it. Yeah. So otherwise you're polishing mistakes.
Do you use a Dremel at all? Like
I do, but it
yeah.
really depends on the leather.
Okay.
For for Pueblo, it's got a softer temper. So when you use a Dremel, it mushrooms out more. Even
Mm,
if I'm like not touching it as much, it mushrooms out more than, like Butero, something like
yep.
that. So if it's got a softer temper, I'll just use my hand sand.
Yep. Yep. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Yeah. Here's the reel that you picked. So
yeah.
this is that candy look that you're talking about, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely inspiring for sure.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he can get that so crisp,
It's
but he's been doing
crazy.
it for a long time.
Yeah. Fair
So
enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
No, that's
and you can
awesome.
tell by his following as well.
Yeah. What's he at?
He's got to be over
106.
100.
How
Yeah.
much like you have a pretty good following base. How much do you like care to see that grow? Or are you at the point like did you ever care? Do you care now? And if so, like what's your relief from it?
Yeah, I mean, great questions. When I first started, I I gave a shout out to several makers because I was really inspired to
Mm-hmm.
start my leather journey through them.
Yep.
Because I started following them from my street photography page. So I had started asking them questions. They're like, yeah, go for it, just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So by that time, I had just a bunch of leather workers that really inspired me. So when I started my page, I gave a lot of them a shout out and said, hey, thank you. I'd like to give thanks to like all these people because you've inspired me to start my own page.
Yep.
And they put that in their stories and were like, hey, follow this guy. So immediately I started getting some followers just off of a couple of my first projects that I still have up there. If the engagement's not there, if the sales aren't there,
Yep.
then it's all really, what is it? There's a lot of ghost accounts. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who follow me from overseas, and they're never going to buy anything. They're there for the content.
Yeah.
So having a big following doesn't translate to sales necessarily.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there are several makers who have less of a following than me who are crushing it in sales.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is encouraging though to see.
And what do you think that is? If they have less than you, but they're crushing it in sales, like how do you think they're distributing differently, or how do you think they're optimize their distribution for actually selling rather than content? You know?
Yeah, well, website it's
Yeah.
probably a big one.
Yep.
Emailing list, those kinds of things where you don't really necessarily need Instagram for those kinds of things to keep
Yep.
people in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, those are goals of mine. But another thing too is that a lot of times creatives like myself are very good at creating things,
Mm-hmm.
coming up with ideas, and the whole crafting is an art,
Yep.
but the business end of things is lacking. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's pouring that time into the thing that you're more uncertain about,
Mm-hmm.
or being willing to say, hey, I need some help
Mm-hmm.
in this area in marketing, in business, in setting up my website,
Yep.
and being willing to not be the jack of all trades and try to do it all yourself. So,
So
Yeah.
that's what you're kind of doing now is
Yeah.
you're leaning on other people who are more suited towards that.
Yeah, for sustainability, I definitely am reaching out. Got a meeting here soon with a guy he mainly focuses on websites.
Hmm.
So, and my goal with that is just to get something up really and just
Yep.
improve on it as I go.
Hmm.
I'll probably be doing a lot more ready to ship stuff. That
Yep.
way I can more so keep it on my own timeline, make things and just post them on the site. But yeah, leaning on other people who have more expertise in that area.
Do you have like a marketing budget or like thoughts of a campaign that you're going to be that you want to you do soon,
I
or
don't know
maybe
if you
you
can
are
hear me,
doing it
but you
now?
froze on me.
Oh, can you see me? 1 second here. Christopher's gone. Hey, you're back?
Yep, yep.
Okay, we're good. Luckily, we
Okay.
can just edit that out. So that's the thing, eh? Is that when
Yeah.
in lives, when I was doing lives, you couldn't like that happen. You just have to play with it and just keep
Yeah.
talking to the people
Just have to
following.
roll with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you following with me? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we can edit this one out. So that's perfect.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
what was I asking?
you were asking if I'm connecting with other people, like in business and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was so marketing. Like from a marketing perspective, what are you? Have you been doing any like marketing campaigns? Are you, or if not, are you what like? What's your thoughts on marketing, paid marketing campaigns? I guess.
Yeah, I feel like if it works for you, go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it honestly depends as well on the market. Some people are sometimes you pay for ads and it brings a lot of people, and other times there's nothing. You
Yeah.
know, I've paid for a couple ads on Instagram and it didn't really bring about any more than what I normally bring when I would
Okay.
just, share my reels.
Yep.
So yeah, so it didn't add any value to me at that time. If I do it again, maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
do it again. Um, whereas I know another maker who ran ads and sold out of all their stuff. So I think it really depends on what you're advertising and what time really.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like with everything on Instagram, it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Yeah.
did for my one like the goods company that I had, Trill Good. I've
Hmm.
kind of moved away from that. It's more I just do the supply now. I was just doing too many things at one time, and I said something's got to give. And the
Right.
supply side grew fast enough where I said, okay, I got to focus on that. So, but the brand, I did this one, the Trillgood brand. I did this one campaign local to my city. So the city I live in is London, Ontario. I did it local to London. I just said, "Hey, London, Ontario," just right at face value. "Hey, London, Ontario. My name's Ethan Williams. I have a leather goods brand, hand making, full grain vegetable tan bags, blah blah blah." Just like really, just like here I am, and
Right.
targeted specifically to London,
Hmm.
and that was a huge boost for me because, well, I think there's a couple of things behind that. One is you're introducing yourself in like a non-formal way, right? Rather than like this really like adsy kind of ad, like
Right.
commercial in some way. And then also it's targeting just locals. So like if I'm gonna make if anyone's gonna follow me and buy from me, firstly, it's gonna be my community, right? And if I'm gonna have a better, return on that ad, then it's going to be from me and also a better cost on that ad too. Instead of just sending it out to like all of Canada, I'm
Right.
targeting the people that are more likely to follow me, more likely to buy from me.
Yeah.
So that ad was really beneficial for me. And I do believe like if people are like looking into like dabbling with like Facebook ads and all that stuff, then like do an ad where it's that professional ad, do that Canada wide targeting, but then also go super local, go super specific with it, and see the comparisons between the cost and the actual return.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I haven't done any local ads yet. So
No.
I had a buddy who did he posted to his local Facebook marketplace groups,
Hmm.
and through that he basically got a ton of attention, some sales, and got invited to do a market
No
for his
doubt, eh?
leather goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe a good maybe a good thing to do. It's free advertising right there, just
Exactly. Eh?
introduce yourself. Definitely wouldn't hurt. So
Have you done any markets yet?
I've done one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my big goals for this year, well, that was one of my big goals for this year, was really just to do a market. And it wasn't like, I don't know that I was in front of like all the right people because we ran that market and then there was another market that had 200 vendors. And so we had 15. So most of the people made their way to
Oh,
the
I
other
see.
market. So it was a scheduling thing. So knowing who you're working with and if you're working with the right people. But for me, it was my first one. So I still made some sales and got to talk to people, educate them a little about leather goods, and so it was good. It was a good first exposure.
Is that something that you're gonna do more of then, you
I
think?
would
Or
like to.
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to. There's a lot of preparation that goes into markets, as anyone can tell you.
Yeah.
And being the that it was my first market, I probably over prepared because I had a lot of inventory left. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I do plan to get out there in the community and be a part of some other markets. Probably not
Oh,
this
we're
year,
cutting out
next
again.
year. But yeah, so for the markets, I do plan to do more. The preparation is what takes a long, of course, takes a long time. And
Hmm.
being able to kind of gauge which markets are more beneficial for you and
Yep.
getting in front of the right people is huge.
Yep.
You can do a market one week and bring in a lot of sales, and the next week you're at a different market, totally different crowd, and you don't sell anything. So definitely do more research next year for sure.
Good. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up
There you
your
are.
next pick here. Hopefully this works and hopefully you can see my shared screen. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay, good. We're back on track then. So you had
Yeah,
two more picks. This is the most spoke.
yeah.
What do you got from these guys?
Man, I feel like I just I just came upon them a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I feel like some of my other friends, I'm like, have you seen their stuff before? And they're like, oh, I feel like I just noticed, and I'm like, wow, where do these guys come from? They make
Yeah.
that's our classic GIF. Yeah,
Sing a shift letter,
put
yeah.
that guy in like all of our reels. Yeah.
Love that.
Uh, if you follow a couple of the same, we're always posting the same GIF on like each other's stuff. So
Yeah.
shout
Yeah,
out to
follow
Jordan
same
from
ship.
Sinking Ship.
See that.
He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, but yeah, it's the most spoke. Those guys like they just bring in excellence into the reels. Like if you, I
Yeah.
can't hear the audio here, but if you pull up one of the reels and you listen to the audio, it's so crisp and it's
Yeah.
just they bring such an excellence to their their videos and their reels. So I've been really enjoying watching them craft.
Yeah, this one here, I'll try to play the audio. I have no idea if it's going to
Mhm,
translate after we're done recording, but this is like a classical piano, like slowly kind of playing the song in the background. And then they also have, of course, like the the tertiary of like things of the sanding it down the edges, the tin opening, the hammer hitting
mhm.
it. Yeah, this is crisp.
Yeah, it's so good. They have another video where they're pulling thread and you can hear it just crunch when they tighten it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's pretty sweet. Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
The thing about video, that's the one there on top. You can see their iron,
Which
top
one?
left,
This one?
to the left there,
This one?
down one more. Yeah,
Oh, this is the one. Oh, the pulling of it through.
yeah. I think that one or the one above it, you can literally, it's got all those nice sounds to it.
They got to be using like a super like good mic, no?
Yeah, I've kind of had this thought that you could probably get away with recording the audio after and just plugging it in towards the video.
Okay.
Um, I'm not sure if that's what they're doing or they're putting a mic right up close
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think they're using a 50 millimeter lens though, and then probably just cropping in to get that close view.
Hmm.
But yeah, everything's so precise and crispy, and it's very soothing. And
Hmm.
I really enjoy their reels.
Now, we were just looking at this photo. Where is it? This sinking ship leather. I think I saw in one of your
Yeah,
posts there that this is a guy that really inspires you. Is that correct? Did I see a post about sinking ship leather? Mm,
he does inspire me.
he does,
But
yeah, yeah.
we
This,
kind of inspire one another.
yeah,
We're friends. We're buddies. Yeah, we
yeah.
met actually through Instagram and through our leather pages, but we have a lot in common. So we're
Mhm.
always going back and forth with ideas and things.
That's the that's Lafarque right there. Is that
Oh
not
yeah,
that painted hide?
I'm not sure.
That one right there?
Yeah, I'm not
Or not
sure.
Lafarque, sorry. I
Yeah,
mean
I've never
Tandy.
used it.
Tandy carries that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Oh, damn, what is it?
He gets a lot of his leather, I think, from a local guy. So there's like running deals on their local
Oh,
leather
okay.
goods, and he'll go there and buy a whole hide.
Oh,
But I
fair
know
enough.
he just picked some up. Yeah,
Here we go. Here's you right there.
the
That's good.
gift
I did.
battles. Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that that you could send gifts as comments.
Oh yeah, yeah. We do it all day. It's kind of
Well,
our
this,
thing.
yeah, I
So
feel like this opens
me and a
up a
couple
whole new
guys, we
realm.
always. Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, you can respond and reply with them too. So
Cool. I
it's
didn't
kind
know
of
that.
fun. Yeah, we try to keep it. We could try to keep it fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do my last one, and then we'll get into your guy as well. Um,
Yep.
so Nick's Handmade. Nick's out of Spokane. Is that how you pronounce that, Christopher? Spokane, Spokane,
Yes. Spokane.
Spokane.
Hmm.
Um,
Mr. Washington. Yeah.
yeah, the toughest handmade boot since 1964. So this, I just love watching people make boots. Like to me,
Mm.
it seems like so difficult, and like the process of it seems so skilled, in the sense like you don't want to screw up. Like once you get to a certain amount of layers, I can imagine. I could be completely wrong here, but I think that once you get to a certain amount of layers, you really don't want to screw up. So watching people make boots is a huge thing of mine. Um, and Nick here is he's been he makes these heavy duty boots, and he uses an 8 ounce leather hide. I believe it's a veg tan. Um, I'm sure it's a veg tan hide, which is 8 ounce something that you would ever work with, Chris?
8 ounce is something that I work with for like camera straps and
Yeah,
stuff. So I know that we were going to get into it, but that's actually how I started leathercraft.
well, it was
So
camera
through
straps.
through camera strap.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As a photographer, once you get into leather, as a photographer, that's the first thing that I wanted was a leather camera strap.
Yeah.
So
Now,
yeah,
did you?
but I used. Yep.
No, I was just gonna say, did you sell those? You just make a bunch for yourself, or how did that go?
Yeah, so the way I usually do it is like I won't sell anything if I don't feel like it's up to par. So I made some for myself. Actually, when I first started, and can you see me okay still?
I can see you fine. Yep.
Okay, 'cause you're frozen on my end, but as long as you can see me.
Yep.
So yeah, I actually went to a friend of mine who's a leathersmith as well, or he was getting into leathercraft, and I asked him for a camera strap, but he owns several businesses, and so he was really busy, and I just I wanted a camera strap like as quick as possible. So that's how I first got into leathercraft. It was like, well, I'm a pretty crafty person, always making things. I'm just gonna buy myself some leather,
Hmm.
and then I bought a bunch of. I went down to the local tandy and bought a bunch of tools, just whatever they said. Hey, you got to start with this, and so I went there, got a bunch of tools, ordered some leather, and I'd made a camera strap, and I literally just sewed the whole thing around the whole thing. I went all out and made a camera strap, and it wasn't that great. It wasn't very comfortable because it wasn't the right kind of leather for a strap.
Hmm.
So, but I got my experience in, and then I made myself once I got more into it. I made myself some pretty comfortable straps.
Yeah.
So
And so,
yeah,
are you still doing the straps then, or not so much now?
yeah,
Yeah.
I do. But they're more custom order. If somebody
Yeah.
might see something that, or on my page, I think I've shared a couple posts maybe,
Hmm.
um, or people will just know that I make them and they'll just say, hey, can you make me a strap?
Yep.
Or do you make a strap? Get that too quite a bit. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'll still make them. So,
Good.
hmm
What's the leather that you're using on? Like, is it a veg tan, chrome tan, 8 ounce, or
so for the straps, I use a chrome tan. So
you
I
do? Eh?
I, I use I usually use Horween just because it's already broken in, feels
Yep.
great. Um, I still do an edge bevel on it, but other than that, I mean, I think they're really comfortable. You might have an argument of saying, hey, it can stretch over time or it's a softer leather, but I haven't had any issues with mine, and all the customers I've made for have been pretty pleased with them.
Yeah.
Also, the what is it? The Minerva Smooth. You
Okay.
can make some great straps with those, and I know it's a veg tan, but you have to buy like a double shoulder or something just to get that strap length out of it.
Where are you going for your Minerva Smooth? Are you going to like Rocky Mountain, or do you have a local guy?
Yeah, no, I do go with Rocky Mountain. Most of the time I go with Rocky Mountain,
Yeah.
simply because they offer it in panels, and
Hmm.
sometimes I mean mostly I do a lot of custom work right now.
Mm.
So there might be some one-offs that I'm doing, and they saw something on my page, or do you have this color leather? So Rocky Mountain makes it easy. Just buy small panels of it,
Yep.
and they don't charge for shipping. I mean, they take a
Oh.
long time, and probably not gonna talk about that too much, but
No, no, it's good. Yeah.
yeah, they ship for free, so that's always nice.
Yeah, like
And for the straps though, yep,
no, no, go ahead, sorry.
yeah, for the straps though, I Buckle Guy, they sell in strap leather, so
Yep.
instead of buying a double shoulder, you can buy straps. They don't make any more nerve smooth straps, but
Hmm.
they're a good place to get straps from.
So Buckle Guy and Rocky Mountain Leather are kind of your go-to, would you say?
Yeah, I'm looking into if I'm gonna buy another hide, the next hide I'll probably get from Buy Leather Online.
Hmm.
Um, Checked into their prices. There's a bunch of crafters, Lighthouse, Alex from Lighthouse.
Hmm.
You can use their like promo codes for 7% off.
Yep.
Um, that plus the shipping, even though it's out of the country, they're pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you'll get it here in a week or less. So I'll
Yeah.
probably go with them next time I get a hide.
Yeah, no, there. I remember when I wasn't supplying, I was going with them for a couple things, just because they're quick shipping. It's not relative. It's not expensive going from over there either. So
Yeah.
it's just the import fee is something you have to expect, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, they're good. I like them. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
now where am I at on this? Um, Who was your other guy that we were shouting out? Where are we at?
Anshare? Anshare
Antier. Oh,
leather?
Antier. Yes. Okay. I'm glad you brought this guy up because he's
Man, this
someone
guy's
that I
crushing
was
it.
really following a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull up the
Let me
screen.
know when you share your screen because I'm not able to see. You're frozen. You've been frozen for a few minutes.
Oh, have I been? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like I don't know if it's because it's Canada and the States.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be the
Oh yeah, I
streaming
can see that.
platform. Like that. I mean, the Riverside. This platform seems. I mean, I don't know any difference. So maybe there's better platforms that are better streaming. But anyways, I have it up now, the reel that you sent me. I don't know if you can see the screen recording, but
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So what drew you to this reel?
I saw this reel like when you go to the search in Instagram,
Yep.
you'll see a bunch of suggestions. And so I saw it and I was like, holy smokes, like right when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's like just the video itself is incredible. I love that it's moody, but I
Yeah.
love that he zooms in macro. And it's like in my mind, it sparked like so many thoughts. Like, how did he shoot this? You know,
Yep.
where is the camera? Because it's got the view where he's pulling it, so it's got to be like right in front of him. I get asked all the time, like, "Oh, I want to see your setup," and I'm like, "Actually, you don't want to see my setup. It doesn't look pretty, but
Yeah.
you do what you do for the shot." So I'm thinking, like, was the camera right in front of his body, like, just to get this shot? But I did hit them up, and they got back to me, and he has a film team, at least of one other person, but he's not shooting these himself. So um, I think they used a couple of different takes, so a couple different camera takes on that one.
Yeah, his whole like it's all pretty moody and I really like that look.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this is him right here.
Yeah. He does a lot of like full videos, like full builds, which I
Yep.
really like because I actually learn from these things too. You, I feel like there's so many ways to do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
with leathercraft, so it might be more comfortable. If some people stitch towards themselves, some stitch away,
Mm-hmm.
the end result looks the same. So I love seeing other crafters do things like this because you pick up little tips or tricks here and there.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and this guy saw it like it's filmed so well.
Man, and like I don't know about you, but I can watch this and it's comes a problem sometimes where I'm like on for an
Oh yeah,
hour and a half, like watching leather crafting reels. And I'm like, what am I doing
oh
right
yeah,
now?
for sure. Yeah, like I watch this, I'm like I want to quit right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or like also at
I'm
the
either
same time,
inspired or I want to
probably,
quit.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's motivational, but then it's
Oh yeah,
also like, damn, why am I not like
yeah,
good yet?
I know. Yeah. It's so true. I mean, one of the biggest things is get out there and fail. Like
Yeah.
when you make something or you prototype something or have an idea, like go out there and try it because
Hmm.
chances are your first one's not going to be it's not going to be a winner. Like you create what you were thinking of in your mind through a bunch of failures, you know?
Hmm.
It's just if you don't sit down and actually put it together, you you're not really failing, you're just learning how to not make it. You're like, I'm that much closer to making it the way that I want it to be. I got to
Yep.
tweak this or tweak that. And you're learning along the way, you're getting your experience, and then it might take several chances. Like I have a horizontal stitchless wallet, and I've been working on it for over a year and a half. I just kind of put it off to the side, and every once in a while I'll take a look at it, and it's like 98.9% done. Some people say it's done, but
Hmm.
there's that like 1% where I'm like, I just want to get this part right. But yeah, I feel like we all have those ideas that we're so close on, and it's just
Hmm.
like getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And like it kind of like it's once you get out there and do it kind of moves you further into doing more things, you know? It gives you that like
Oh
extra
yeah.
little push to keep on going. Is like what is
Hmm.
that push and pull for you? Like what's that thing that keeps driving you to continue designing, continue being the artist and creating things? Like it
Yeah.
what is it? Yeah.
Well, naturally, I've always been that kid that you can give me, like my grandparents gave me a box of Legos for Christmas for like 10 Christmases in a row. Like it
Yeah.
was the same gift over and over and over, and I was ecstatic as if like it's the first time I saw it. So I
Yeah.
was always building, always creating. There's that itch in me that wants to like make stuff.
Hmm.
So this gives me an outlet to be able to do that. And Like if I have a long day, or if I always have ideas. There's always things. I have like a whole list of things that I want to work on and make and try to create.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that alone keeps me going, keeps me crafting and creating. And I love, naturally as well, I love to share.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always someone who loves to share. So the leather, the leather work wasn't made out of wanting to sell things and create a business. It was more so made out of like, look what I made.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share it with you guys. And the fact that people kind of follow along and have been enjoying following along. Some people order some things. That's just icing on the cake for me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you get
yep.
ever overwhelmed with being creative?
I get overwhelmed with having so many ideas that I'm not able to work on,
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that of like I have so many. I think one of the things too is that if I get a lot of custom orders at once, where I have a lot of life stuff going on, which is very common because, two kids in school, I work full time outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is pregnant. It's like I don't always have the time to sit and craft. So sometimes that makes me stressful, because I can I can want to. I'm not a people pleaser, but I want to do the best that I can,
Yep.
and I want to like just under promise. What is it? Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
always have that mentality. Yeah, I always have that mentality. I want to do it. Hey, I'll ship it out next week, and I ship it like tomorrow, or get it done. So that stresses me out that I'm not able to get to that level sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like I don't get stressed out on like drafting or
Yeah.
anything like that. I don't really have anything that frustrates me besides like maybe skiving, skiving pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that,
Why is
it's
that?
very much enjoyable. It's because I suck at it.
Okay.
So I
Like, do
feel
you rip
like
a hole?
I feel like that's the one thing. What's that?
I said, do you like rip a hole before you get to the end, or?
That's yeah. I mean, it's not always consistent. I'm getting better at it. Which I just need to spend some time with it. There are a couple things that I just need to really spend time with. Um, Another thing is that like just obviously keep your tools sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So you're skiving a pocket, keep it sharpen as many times as you need to skive that
Mm-hmm.
pocket down. So obviously with better tools you won't have to do that as much because they hold their edge longer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the tools make a huge difference. But skiving is probably one of those things that I probably could do without, and I'd be just fine.
Yeah, true enough.
Yep.
So we're getting close to the end here. Um, and I think we've gone through our set list of what we wanted to I wanted to touch on. Was there anything anything that you want to talk specifically about that you think will benefit the community or just benefit to have the conversation?
Um, you know, Not comparing yourself to other people,
Hmm.
but I feel like that's with in every aspect of life. We get to this place where we compare ourselves all the time. If it's not through craft, it's through our work, or it's not
Yep.
through our work, it's through another family.
Yep.
Someone else has a really nice house and this and that or whatever.
Hmm.
So we just compare ourselves, but everybody's journey is different. And with leather work, it's no different. There's there's so much comparison. There's so much like this was my idea and they took my idea or whatever,
Sure,
and
sure.
that's hard to get around in leathercraft. You know, like a car is a car. It could be a different car, but the function's the same. So if you're making
Yep.
a wallet's a wallet. It has to hold things. How
Yep.
you make it, may vary, but there could be similarities. So sometimes that's hard in the leatherworking community, just comparing yourself, or so and so has 80,000 or 100,000 followers. What am I doing wrong?
Exactly.
Things like that. Uh, yeah, I always say if you're gonna follow someone, follow for inspiration, not because you know, you're don't let it be a discouragement. Their success be a discouragement.
Yep.
Just let it drive you. Be encouraged by it. Be okay with saying, "Hey, I'm not there yet," or being not afraid to step out and ask them questions. Hey, I could use your advice. I see you're at where I want to be,
Yep.
and then just ask your question. Yeah.
So do you think that's like pride that gets in our way when it comes to that? Like when it comes to like is it pride or is it like humility, you know? Like
Right.
what why what's the thing
Yeah, I think
that's making
yeah,
us compare?
I think that I mean it can be pride for sure. It can be pride for sure. I think that that's naturally one of those temptations when you get out there in any craft or in any field, you know, or pride can keep you from it can keep you from a lot of things. It can keep you from, getting to your potential,
Yep.
um, or from asking those questions that you have,
Hmm.
or saying like, I'm just going to do it myself. I don't think anyone can really build something 100% solely by themselves. I mean that's I guess that's a bold statement. We need each other. I mean that's what for me anyways that drives me to keep creating is surrounding myself by people who also create, who are doing things that I want to do,
Hmm.
and then also having people who aren't where I'm at that I'm able to pour into.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think pride can definitely get in the way of that for sure.
Hmm. Is there anything that you do specifically to like I know I struggle with like seeing something. I like it's not I wouldn't say struggle is the right word, but like um there's definitely moments where I'm like why am I upset that I'm not where I want to be yet, right? Um
Yeah.
and like I have goals, we all have goals and it takes so damn long
Hmm.
to get to where you want to
Yeah.
be. Um
Yeah.
so what is it like if you've experienced that feeling, that emotion? Um I know for me it was trying to enjoy the moment more than getting to the end, right? So enjoy like and
Oh
everyone
yeah.
says enjoy the process, but actually being able to enjoy the process and slow it down cuz life is damn quick,
Hmm.
you know? And you got to
It
and
is.
they say
Yeah.
you got to stop to slow it down every once in a while. You might just miss it. And for me like crafting, making things at some point I was just like just go and I said, "Am I enjoying this anymore?" So now I it's just stopping and doing making a bag once a month rather than trying to get it two done in a week, you know? Um, so what is it for you that is what I'm saying making sense? And if it connects, is there anything that you do to help be in the moment?
Yeah. Honestly, staying creative. Like I, like I said, I have a lot of ideas.
Hmm.
Um, I have a lot of ideas, but really, it's being able to sit and craft is just like I said. It's really therapeutic for me.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, but being able to use my hands, um, see an idea that started in my mind, sketch it on a notepad or whatever else, and then being able to actually get the materials, put it together, and see the end result has brought me so much satisfaction. So, like something that's helped me enjoy that process is just really just making myself be in that moment of creating.
Hmm.
So I mean there are places that I want to be this far along as well. I initially started this thing with like let's see where this is gonna go. Like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't start off thinking I'm gonna make this a business, but once I got into it, I'm like, well, this can be something that's sustainable. So there are some goals in mind, and I feel like you said, life happens so fast, and it doesn't slow down for anyone.
Yep.
So I'm in that place where I'm like, I want it to slow down so I can get some fundamentals and some rudimentary things in place
Hmm.
so this can be sustainable. But
Yep.
honestly, just being able to work on things that I enjoy or I think of
Hmm.
helps me stay in that moment. And that's like I said, I love custom work. I love custom orders. That's where the majority of my content comes from. But I'm getting pretty excited that those are kind of slowing down so that I can actually just experiments more. That's where I'm at now, is just being in that experimental phase, trying different things, trying different leathers, different combinations of leathers, things like that. That excites me.
That's awesome. I love hearing that, Christopher.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, we're pretty well at the end here. Let's do that speed round we talked about.
Yeah,
I
I feel
say,
like there should be some like game music or something
I know, I don't, maybe I can post edit that. Like, this is the first one, so like,
for
I'm
some
hoping.
speed rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Um, yeah, yes, we just gotta take it from like some game show. Maybe we'll just clip out a game show,
Yeah,
whatever.
that'd be sweet. Yeah,
What would,
that's what I think. Speed rounds, you know?
yeah, what would be a game show that we could clip out? Do you watch any game shows like that?
Oh
Or
God,
like,
I used to. I feel like they're not as popular as they used to be, back in the 90s.
yeah.
I'm like dating myself, of course, but oh gosh, I'd have to think about that one.
Do you remember Survivor and Survivor's one? Uh Amazing Race. Do you remember Amazing Race? And Survivor and Amazing Race?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What was what's that memory for you?
I mean, I just have this picture of the people being voted off, and they
Yeah.
like, you know, they just put out their tiki torch, like
Yeah.
I just, yeah, those were wild shows back in the
Yo,
day, really.
those were the best shows. I like for me it's like
They
we would
were, they
just
were,
everyone would just like everybody's watching that. Like the whole country's watching that,
yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah, millions would tune in. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Like
those were good days.
Survivor, what a cool vibe it was too, man. I miss that shit, but they're still playing
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's just I'm just whatever. You know?
right. I've been watching. I've been really enjoying watching Alone.
Oh yeah.
So they have all these people who are like they're just from different fields of like expertise, and they'll put them in a secluded place
Hmm.
and then just leave them. They get like two things or three things that they can take with them, and then they just leave them. They live off the land, and whoever survives the longest wins like I don't even remember $500,000 or some like massive amount of money.
Yeah.
But it's it's wild watching that.
And they can be out
Um,
there for as long as no one else quits. So
as
it
long as
really
they
just
survive.
yeah. Hmm. That's
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
sometimes, and the thing is too, is that they don't know when the other people quit, so they just got to keep pushing.
Is that
Like
streaming or what's
the
that on?
camera. I believe it's on Disney Plus. I think
Yeah.
it's a, yeah, I think it's on Disney Plus, National Geographic show or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, they'll like the camera person will show up and they'll think it's an interview, and they're just like, "Yep, I'm trying to go as long as I can," and they have to measure their weight, see if they're healthy enough to continue, and they're like, "I'm good, I promise I'm good." They're like dying, and then they're like, "Well, you're the last one," and so it's cool.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember my buddy was telling me about the one guy and he like got a moose. No, was it a moose?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're not very fatty, so even though he's eating a bunch of the moose, like
yeah,
he was still like burning a bunch of cows and
right.
couldn't keep anything on.
Yep, yep. That was I remember that episode actually. It was
Yeah,
like who knew like the guy with the moose would be the one going home because there's not much fat. There's some in the
yeah,
brain or whatever, and but he had an entire moose and he didn't last. Yeah,
that's crazy.
so it's crazy. It is really crazy.
All right, speed round. What is your favorite tool to use?
My favorite tool to use is definitely a straight blade scythe knife. Right now, I bought one secondhand. I initially got one from Weaver. They offer a pretty good one, Japanese steel. But I got a Palo Santo one from a buddy of mine that I bought secondhand. He used it maybe once or twice, and I
Mhm.
just love that thing. I don't have to bust out the ruler for my straight cuts or anything, and it's just so versatile.
Awesome. What is your favorite book slash
Yeah.
movie?
That's a tough question. I mean, I don't read as much as I probably should, so I'll go with my favorite movie,
Hmm.
and that's probably The Last Samurai. It's an old one with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, dude,
I
same.
just I love. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's a good movie, man. I just like the honor and respect about the movie. You know, like I'm half Asian, so learning respect and honor towards
Hmm.
like your elders and towards people is something that's just a part of the culture. It's a part of a lot of Asian culture.
Hmm.
So I've been able to incorporate that in my life and stuff. But yeah, that's big in the movie, and I like to see that.
That's
It's
awesome.
just a great film. I feel like I feel like films aren't made. They're not what they used to be back then too. I feel like
Yeah, Tom Cruise though, he's just one of those guys that also just love making movies. So I feel like you can't go
yeah,
wrong with Tom Cruise's movies, especially his older ones.
right, yeah, for sure. There's I don't know if you've seen it. There's like a lot of deep fakes with Tom Cruise going around now.
Yeah, I did see
It's
that.
wild what technology can do nowadays. Yeah,
Oh man, it's scary. Where it's cool, I don't. I guess it can be
it is
scary, but it's also kind of
for
cool.
sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That's also a tough question. I'd probably say Switzerland.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen photos and videos of it, but it absolutely looks gorgeous there. Like, I'm a photographer again. I'm a photographer and I do video, so seeing the photos and videos of that place, I'm like, it's so majestic,
Hmm.
nature everywhere. I would say Switzerland.
Cool. What is your
Yeah.
number one tip to new crafters?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've touched up on it already,
Hmm.
but don't stay true to what you like. You know, I we say it to each other as photographer to photographer, like shoot what you want to attract. If that's
Hmm.
what you want to attract, shoot that. You want to do weddings, shoot weddings. Show weddings. You can do other shoots, but only post the weddings or more of that stuff. So I say like be true and be loyal to what you like. If you like wallets, if you like bags, obviously you can veer different directions if you want. Get kind of I feel like in the beginning you just kind of do a little bit of everything, you know. But stay true to what you like and what you want to do. If you start making so much for other people, I think you'll get to that point where you're kind of you'll burn out. So stay true to what you like and what you enjoy.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
maybe that leads into the next question. But what's your number one tip on how to sustain?
Honestly, staying around people who are better than you or people who motivate you. And we looked at those videos earlier
Yep.
and we watched those and we're like, wow, like now I have some goals to attain to or some things I need to work on.
Hmm.
That that drives that kind of thing drives me. It drives my creativity.
Yep.
It drives my like desire to film better, to shoot better, or to present something that's more professional. You can look at those things easily and be discouraged, but I'm always motivated and encouraged by those things. So be around a community that can push you, that can challenge you, but mostly that just there to support you and help you succeed.
That's awesome. I really like that advice.
Yeah,
Um, all right, man.
but hope I help someone.
What's that?
Oh, I said I hope I help someone for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. It helps me even. It really does. I mean, hearing those type of things, like it just
Yeah.
you need you don't you need you need reminders. You constantly need reminders
Oh
of
yeah,
where of not what to do, but like different ways to think, right? And a
absolutely.
lot of the times it is just that door that's it's got a slight crack to it. You can see the light coming through, but
Hmm.
you need someone to open it the rest of the
Right,
way.
right, right.
So,
And other people will definitely challenge you or bring that out of you. I feel like so. And it sounds cliche, but definitely surround yourself by a community of people. It doesn't
mhm,
have to be a lot of people. People who can push you and motivate you. I know we brought up Jordan from Sinking Ship. Find your close friends that you can grow together with, you know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, man. We've gone through an hour 15. Anything you want to say before we head
Yeah.
out?
Oh man, well, just thank you for having me. Like
Yep.
it's really an honor. I feel like I don't deserve to, be interviewed because I may have not been doing it as long as someone else, but everything I do I want to do with excellence and stuff. So if there's anybody listening, if you ever have any questions or you see something that I make, please shoot me a DM. I'm an open book and I'd love to help. So,
Royal.leatherworks on Instagram. And
that's
your
right.
website's coming out soon.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. If it comes out, well,
Yeah.
as soon as it does come out, I'll make sure it's included in the link for the podcast. And other than that, man, have a great afternoon. I really appreciate you coming out to speak with me. And hopefully we can do this again.
No, I'd love to. Thanks again for having me, Ethan.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Thank you for joining us on this leather-filled journey today. We hope you found inspiration and creativity in every word shared on this episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, like, rate this video, comment below. Your feedback fuels our passion to bring you more captivating stories from the world of leather crafting and artistry. And for even more leather magic and to stay up to date on our latest episodes, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Wilfred's Leather Co. Visit our website, wilfordsleatherco.ca. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And of course, you'll find in the show notes additional resources on ways to connect and links to what we spoke about in today's podcast. Remember, your creative journey with leather is boundless. So keep those ideas flowing, those tools clicking, and those stitches tight. Together, we're crafting a world where artistry knows no bounds. Until next time, fellow artisans, keep innovating, keep creating, and keep embracing the art of leather. This is Ethan Williams signing off the Creators Flow podcast. Stay creative, stay passionate, and most importantly, stay leathery. Goodbye for now. We can't wait to have you back on our leather-filled adventure.